This is part 2 of lip reading from Avenue X. She does really help me understand it even better with the show. As, of course, someone who speaks the language, she will be able to then explain it better to us. And I like what she does, because she kind of gets a little bit shy and blushy in certain aspects, because we know certain things that probably had to be censored out were quite raunchy for a show like this, and even to get away with it. So let's just get into what these rule lines actually were.
This is
Hello.
Avenue X's second video on the lip reading for Sugar. That would cover the entirety of Word of Honor.
Okay, so all of it.
Last time I stopped around episode 14, so today we're gonna take it all the way to the end
To
of
the
the
end?
drama.
That's a lot
Same
of
as the first
episodes.
video, it doesn't cover every little bit that has been changed in post-productions, because
That'd be
not
too much
all
for
the
you.
changes are actually necessarily related to Sugars.
But it's also too much for
I
you to
need to
just
warn
break
you,
down.
because I'm taking it to the very end of the drama. If you haven't caught up with the drama and you really hate spoilers,
Stop
I'll leave
now.
the time code in the description of this video, letting you know when I'm gonna talk about what line in what episode, so you know where to stop. So let's head right into it. First in episode 14, there isn't a line in the drama that got changed in dubbing, but there is a line that was omitted in the drama version, which existed in the book version. Right at the end, when the two male leads had a big quarrel and Zhou Zishu left. Before that, Wen Kexing was saying, luckily, and then there's no future lines. Whereas in the book, he actually said one line, 幸好我还没有特别喜欢你. Luckily, I haven't yet liked you too much. I don't think that's true though. He has totally fallen, and he probably
Yeah, I think at this point he's
100%
fallen for
aware of
him.
that. In episode 16, there is a scene
Yeah.
that's not related to the two male leads, but very interesting. It's related to Cher and Eve. Yeah, that's how they're called in China.
Cher and
The
Eve,
Scorpion
okay.
King and his adopted
Oh.
father. There's a flashback scene
That's
that
what they're
shows you
called,
Scorpion
okay.
King is the person responsible for killing the young man
Young
that
man, yeah.
showed up many episodes earlier. In the drama currently airing, you'll hear him saying, 本王某局岂容他人染指，成就大业由我一
Love how her
个就
voice
够了。
sounds.
This king calling himself 谋局 plotting and strategizing 岂容他人染指 How can I bear other people messing with my plan 成就大业 making a huge ambition come true 有我一个就够了 Which is referring to my adopted father doesn't need anyone else. I am
Only needs
more
him
than
more
enough,
than
so
enough.
I got rid of you. Which actually kept the essential meaning of the original lines, but took out all the implications of his real relationship with his adopted father. What's
You guys have seen this video, so I can pause. That is true. Someone did point out about their relationship to me straight away, and the more you watch it, and a breakdown of this, but as you see, the meaning is still there. It's just the implications are taken, which makes sense that they would take that out. But I remember someone telling me the actual relationship that's supposed to be between them.
really spoken when they filmed the drama by the actor is 卧榻之侧岂容他人安睡义父身边有我一个就够了
Which made a
卧
mistake.
榻之侧岂容他人安睡 comes from an ancient prose. What it means is on the side of your bed. How can you bear another people snoring away? Which means you cannot bear any other people getting into your territory. Because this is much more direct about first, I am the monopolizing person of the adopted son and the father relationship. Also on the bedside. The scriptwriter is very clever about suggesting things here, but it's kind of too obvious. That's why they changed it. And the second line
I get
is
that.
义父身边有我一个就够了 So it's not making something ambitious happening. I would be enough. It is by the side of my adopted father. If there has to be one, I am enough. Episode 17, quite a lot of famous moments. First, when Chengling was practicing and Ye Baiyi, Wen Kexing, Zhou Zishu were all watching there, Wen Kexing said a line and pretty much just doing an advertisement for
the nut. Yeah, I love the
nut
advertisements.
In the
I think they were pretty
version, you hear
good.
him saying, 我排了好长队才买到的 I had to queue a long queue to buy this nuts. Whereas the real line here is 我排了好长的队才买给你的 The first part is the same. I queued a long queue, but the later part is to buy it for you. So it's
And
being
that's the implication
specific about,
again.
I
Yeah,
got
you
this for
have to
you.
take away
Then,
these
after we got
implications.
drunk and they got back to the bedroom, Wen Kexing reached out and then Zhou Zishu turned away. After that, Zhou Zishu said a line, and the dubbing changed a little bit of it. In the drama version, you'll hear him saying, 我看不得你那副假模假式的德行，戴着面具. I can't bear looking at how pretentious you are, as if you are wearing a mask. So that's the meaning of that line.
Okay.
The actor Zhang Zhehan actually said when they filmed it, 我看不得你那副哼哼唧唧的德行，假模假样. So it's very similar. They changed the 哼哼唧唧 to 假模假样. And then in the second line, they added, 戴着面具 wearing a mask, whereas in the original one, there isn't a wearing the mask. I cannot bear looking
at you, yeah.
your, not just being pretentious, but being 哼哼唧唧. 哼哼唧唧 is a word to describe somebody being not straightforward and trying to get what they want by acting a little bit girly and like a child. So it's like, you make that sound. So that word is actually describing the sound people make when they try to get something. 哼哼唧唧. And then the second line is 假模假样, putting on a pretense. I'm just guessing maybe they find 哼哼唧唧is too girly. They're trying to be extra cautious. At the very, very end of this episode, we have that beautiful moment when Zhou Zishu has already left, and then Wen Kexing is on the bed looking as he walks away and said very quietly to himself, 看过之后你就不会当我是朋友了. Previously, Zhou Zishu is like, let me see your heart, which is let me see your secret, let me see who you really are, and then I can help you. Wen Kexing's reply here is, 看过了之后, after you've seen it, 你就不会当我是朋友了. You wouldn't think of me as your friend anymore. What he actually said was, 看过了之后你就不会理我了. After you've seen it, you wouldn't want to bother with me. You would just walk away from my life. So it's a little bit more direct expression of emotion. So I can see why they changed that. What I've heard about this drama is, in their original script, it's much more daring than the version that you see today. While they were filming it, they already tuned it down. And in post-production, they had to do it even more. So the fact is, word of honor, if it was made exactly as the original script is, we probably would be screaming like, people
would be blushing.
Maybe in the parallel universe. Moving on to the very classic episode 18. When they got out of the cave, they were running away from all those drug zombies. They had a pit stop and had a few lines of chick fight before they head over and crossed that big canyon. Wen Kexing was patting on Zhou Zishu. In the drama, you'll hear him saying, 你这叫嚣张到底，终叫雷劈, which means you're acting so arrogantly, therefore you got stricken by lightning. This line is so changed. He actually said, 你这叫情场得意，战场失意. 情场.
What does that mean?
场 is a field. 情 is emotion. So 情场 here means the battleground for love. Because you're 得意, which means you get what you want. So you're happy,
satisfied
with your love affairs, with what happens with your romantic life.
Yeah, they can't keep that in.
战场失意. You lose what you want at an actual battlefield, which is they've just fought off like the zombies, and Zhou Zishu was complaining there are only a few times I've been chased like this. So yeah, Wen Kexing is so on the nose about that.
But he's on the nose a lot, even with the changes.
Me, therefore, heaven is fair and makes your life difficult at fighting off zombies. Now we're gonna take a big jump.
That's a big flirt.
Not because there hasn't been any changes happening among those episodes in the middle. It's just because they're not very related to sugar and stuff. Episode 28, very beautiful scene. Chinese New Year's Eve dinner scene with really terrible food. Like that chicken soup looks like just hot water.
It probably would. Just be careful with the food on set.
Drinks and he said two lines. 无人灯下对酒，无人为我心忧. Nobody would drink with me under the light. So it means at night. And 无人
Which sounds very romantic.
Nobody would understand what I feel sad about. So he said, had I not met you, had I not had this life, that would be my life. But the actor actually said, 无人灯下对酒. First line the same, second line. Get ready. 无人与我白头. No one together with me, Whitehead. So that's a direct translation. Had I not met you, there would be nobody to grow old with me.
Oh yeah, that's really
sweet. The point where we both have white hair.
I do love when she gets shy like this, because I'm not someone who naturally does that, and I know a lot of reactors who watch these shows and BLs, because what it's adapted from, have this moment. But honestly, yes, hearing the real lines, I do understand. We all understand about censorship. But it is in moments like that that you kind of do want to hear the real line, because the actual romanticized element of it is so heightened by saying we want to all together have white hair. You, he, it's just the flirtatious nature would have been even more propelled.
Yeah, I see why. It has to be changed. There's
Yeah.
no way this line is gonna get through censorship. No way. And then episode 32, the literal cliffhanging scene. When Wen Kexing was standing there facing off all the heroes who want to destroy him, Zhou Zishu hops down, walks
to
up to
save
him
him.
before they turned around and faced all the
Such an
enemies.
important moment.
Zhou Zishu looked into Wen Kexing's eyes and said this line in the drama version, 你省省吧. Which means stop making this much trouble. But what's actually spoken, if you slow it down, pay attention. I've looked at scene many times trying to confirm it, and I'm pretty sure it is true, as people have managed to find out. What's actually spoken by Zhang Zhehan at that moment was 你是我的人. You are my person.
My person?
Do you remember in the first video I said, he had this scene when he said, you are the person 我认定. I'm sure of you. You are the person that I pick. There's no one else. This is the same thing. Just didn't bring out the 认定, but literally is 你是我的人. You are my person. Literal translation. Yeah, I can see why it has to be changed. Also, I think
there's
this
a
is
lot
a
of
line from the original book too. Episode
clear
35,
definition
the
of what their
absolute
relationship
heart-wrenching episode. After the fight, Wen Kexing was almost passed out, and
I'm not
we
over
have this
that.
very classic scene in the book and also in the drama. That very classic hand-touching scene that, you know, in every kind
Like
of
he's reaching out
ways,
to,
you know, like
yeah, it's really
symbolic,
symbolic.
religious,
It was like
however
reaching
you
out
want
to
interpret
what you
that.
want.
But Zhou Zishu had a line spoken. In the drama, you'll hear him saying, 老温 literally is calling Wen Kexing, but actually what was spoken by the actor was 你怎么了? Which is, what happened to you? What is going on with you? It's a question about your condition. I'm feeling like maybe they feel calling the name actually is a more in the moment thing than say 你怎么了? Because you can totally see, like, you know, he's hurt. He got poked through
by a
sword in his
sword.
chest. Clearly he's not well. It's more like trying to get a better logic for that scene. Now we can
I don't know if that works too. I feel like the original would have been fine.
Heavy episode, okay? So sit tight. This is important. For the version you watch, if it's a direct translation, which I do not know, okay, from the Chinese drama version, it will confuse you to no end because you just cannot figure out what they were doing. Is it B? Is it HE? Happy ending, bad ending, open ending? What the heck is going on? I've already explained that in my live stream video. I've mentioned everything I know about the ending and why it ended up like that. If you're curious,
You'll find out
go
how
ahead
I
and
feel
check that out.
about
Pretty much
the
after that,
ending.
you will be happy about it. The lip dubbing went crazy about the end of episode 36 and two major chunks. One is a sugar line when they are in the treasure cave. One is afterwards, the last scene. So first, let's talk about the treasure cave. When Zhou Zishu read the 六合神功, that scroll that says, you know, how to practice that crazy technique 叶百一 knows. Wen Kexing was standing on his side and started commenting on practicing that and what is the price you have to pay for it. You'll hear him say, 也就是说，即便活着离开此处，以后也得长久隐居极寒之地，食血饮冰，没完没了的活下去。也就是说 that means 即便活着离开此处 even though we can live here alive, 以后也得长久隐居极寒之地. In the future, we had to live in seclusion in extremely cold places. 食血饮冰, eat snow and drink ice. 没完没了的活下去. Live indefinitely. But what's actually spoken is much more personal. So what the actor actually said was, 也不知道你我若是无缘离开此处。你愿不愿意和我从此食血饮冰，没完没了的活下去啊？ So there are similarities for sure looking at the two paragraphs.
Yeah, but that's the last paragraph.
I'm not sure, or I cannot tell. 你我若无缘离开此处, if you and me cannot leave this place. So instead of saying, you know, even if we leave the place, he actually said, if we cannot leave this place. 你愿不愿意和我从此食血饮冰? Would you be willing to from now on with me eat snow,
makes it more
ice,
sweet.
没完没了的活下去啊, live
indefinitely. Yeah, that makes it way more personal.
See, there's a huge problem with that. It definitely is not like on the nose about like being really intimate and stuff, but it clearly is suggesting living with me. It's emphasizing that picture of two lovebirds living in their own little Eden and heaven and yeah. So it got changed. Now,
I feel like that didn't need to be changed, but I get why it was.
But I'll try my best to explain it to you. So the Chengling telling stories to his students, it's so overdubbed. Literally every
someone did say
is
this.
changed.
Yeah.
Once you decipher what's actually spoken by the actor playing the adult Chengling, you can be 90% sure that the original happy ending is a happy ending. In
you're
the
not allowed
drama,
to
you hear
have that.
Chengling say, okay, it's a long line, so forgive me for reading it literally off my notebook like this.
I would
必
rather
须
you
有
read
一
it off
个
your
人甘
notebook.
心情愿将自己肉身当成炉鼎，将辛苦修炼的真气反输给练功者。无论你武功如何精深，就算一时还没爆体而亡，终会全身筋脉尽断。Or quickly, roughly translated, there has to be one
Please.
person who willingly sacrificed their body as the furnace to pass this 真气, the qi that he practiced and cultivated, put that into the other person's body. No matter how strong their capability and strength is, even if the person doesn't die on the spot, exploding, that type of thing, eventually their jinmai would all be broken. So jinmai is your kind of energy passage. Whereas intense lip reading would show what actually was spoken by the actor.
Yeah, let's hear what was actually said.
Get ready. 必须两人同心，相守相护，还要全心全意的互认为知己，因之间保持相爱，才能在处境危机之际传递真气，渡过难关。Then there's a line that's cut out because it cuts to the students. We don't know, what's spoken by the lip, but we can guess what's spoken. The second half of that line was 被对方保护的不死人. It has to be two people having the same heart, so same kind of mind. 相守相护, accompany and protect each other. 还要全心全意的互认为知己. Also, they have to full-heartedly recognize each other as their 知己, the person who knows you perfectly. And this line is weird, the one line after, right? I literally stared at the actor's mouth for like 20 times, and I think it's actually, true, but it sounds very, very obvious, which is 因之间保持相爱 literally means because between them they kept the state of being in love with each other.
They were soulmates.
Literally like that, super direct. 才能在处境危机之际. Because of that, then they can, at the times when the other person is in danger, 传递真气, passing that qi to each other.
That makes sense.
So that they can get over those difficult obstacles.
Kind of
then it's the
elements
line
of that
cuts to the students. So we don't know what Chengling said, but when the shot comes back to his face, he said, 被对方保护的不死人, undead person being protected by the other one. So people assume and guessed. The line when the shot is on the student was, therefore, when they succeed at practicing 六合神功, they would become undead as they are protected by the other person.
Immortal, yeah. Clicking the tongue.
So, as you can see, what's actually filmed on the day was really direct because it's saying these two people have to love each other so they can help each other and therefore they become undead. If you have further questions about the ending, really, and just all the ins and outs and all the information that is floating on the internet and figuring out what it is, go and watch my live stream. I have time coded it so you don't have to waste your life and time and can head over straight to that particular point when I
would rather waste my time actually going through it all
because
you put so much effort into it.
Reading for Word of Honor. I don't think something like this has ever happened in Chinese dramaland regarding a BL drama that airs that changed so much of its lines but then still leave you clues for you to figure out what's actually spoken. Obviously, it's also because there aren't that many BL dramas to start with.
So you can decipher the differences
between them.
These 2 videos
have been informative and helpful to you, for you to dig out even more sugar out of this already surprisingly satisfying BL adaptation drama. 山河令, Word of Honor. Thank you for watching Avenue.
One, I just love the sound of her voice when she slips back into Mandarin. Because of the difference, it's always like that when someone speaks their mother tongue, that they will their tone is always very different. It's usually quite deeper, and hearing the differences and what it would have meant watching it, and the implications, I definitely get why some of the lines were changed. That makes a lot of sense. I think we can all understand that, and the fact that she breaks it down so definitively for us as well, and then tries to get the best explanation she can in translation. I'm really thankful for that. Some of these, I mean, like the last part with Chengling, that makes complete sense why it had to be changed. But I felt like some things didn't have to be changed because they weren't so on the nose, they weren't so direct. You could have kept them in, but you've always got to be careful of what you can actually get out. And she's right, for I've only seen so far two Chinese so-called adaptations, because obviously it is adapted BLs. This one still let you know what was going on, and I still don't get how they got it through censorship. But I'm very happy because I feel like maybe well, it would have been great to see how they could have had something like this. And I appreciate Avenue X breaking this down and just explaining what they were saying, what this meant, what it truly means, because I do think it heightens everything about what goes on and it makes you appreciate it even more. Thank you for watching, and this was the second part of the lip reading.